Hey y'all, it's Celt. Let's talk about a major change to Twitter and whether or not you should actually be worried about it. So if you've been active in the online space at any length of time and have social media accounts, you're probably familiar with the idea of two-factor authentication. If you're not, then it's something you do need to learn about because it's going to help prevent your account being stolen by malicious actors online. But the general gist of it is after signing in with your username and password, you have something secondary set up to give you like a one-time use password. So you sign in with your username and password, and then some other method gives you a secondary password that you have to put in. That way, if somebody does get your username and password, they still don't have that secondary password that's one-time use. And a common method of delivery for that one-time use secondary password, which gives it the two-factor authentication name, is through SMS or text messaging. Well, if you're on Twitter and you have SMS two-factor authentication set up, more than likely you've already received your notification from Twitter that unless you're subscribed to Twitter Blue, you have to disable this. And this is causing people to freak out, claiming that Musk is extorting people, that if you want to have your account safe, you have to pay $8 for it. So now that you're all caught up, let's talk about that and figure out what's really going on and is whether or not this is a good idea on Musk's end. So first, let's talk about, is this extortion by Musk? Kind of. Musk attempted to make the claim that phone companies were scamming Twitter out of millions of dollars due to fake authentication requests by SMS. So that's his justification for putting the feature behind the $8 Twitter Blue paywall. And honestly, it's a dumb justification for it. From the beginning of taking over Twitter, Musk has been trying to expand the idea of Twitter Blue being a popular thing and a revenue source for Twitter. And all of his ideas for making Twitter Blue more enticing and trying to get people to sign up have frankly just been bad. And they've been really bad because Musk makes these decisions without doing any actual thought. He just has an idea and he wants it implemented right away without doing a cost-benefit analysis for it. Kind of like when he created the idea of Twitter Blue authentication right off the cuss, implemented it, and then people started impersonating major brands and famous people. The original idea for Twitter Blue was actually very useful. In fact, before Musk took it over and messed it up, I was a Twitter Blue subscriber. The idea of paying a small amount of money for the ability to edit tweets, upload longer videos, and bypass a lot of article paywalls was very enticing. All three of those things appealed to me as a content creator. In fact, I even would have been willing to pay the $8 for it if he had taken away the fake blue checkmark and expanded the access of articles that we would have had for the membership in Twitter Blue. Let me tell you, that was nice, having someone tweet an article and being able to click it and still read it even though it's behind a paywall for a subscription that I don't normally have. I honestly kind of miss that feature. But instead, Musk is trying to create these justifications of why you should sign up for Twitter Blue, like if you want to keep your account secure. And this is going to backfire spectacularly for Musk and Twitter as a whole. The first reason is a lot of people are not going to pay for the feature. They're just going to let two-factor authentication fall off their account and not set up any types of alternate two-factor authentication. This is going to create a major security issue within Twitter itself. And this security issue is going to further destroy the reputation of Twitter. If you've ever worked in security, you'll notice that your average end user never blames the security lapse on themselves. They always blame it on the platform. The end user is not going to think, oh, my account got hacked because I didn't set up an alternate version of two-factor authentication. They're going to think my account got hacked because Twitter didn't protect my account. And they're going to think that because many of them don't know about the alternates to SMS two-factor authentication. Yes, it's true. There are other versions of two-factor authentication other than SMS two-factor authentication. And the interesting part of that is SMS two-factor authentication is the weakest and least secure version of two-factor authentication. I think I just set a record for how many times I could say two-factor authentication in a sentence. Currently, Twitter offers 3 versions of two-factor authentication. They offer SMS, application, or device. SMS is the one being moved behind the paywall. You enter your username and password, and Twitter texts you a code that you then enter into Twitter. That way, somebody has to have access to your phone number to be able to receive that text and sign into your Twitter account. And this is the least secure, but also the most popular type of two-factor authentication. It's the most popular type because it's the easiest to set up. You literally just give Twitter your phone number, they text you a code, you put it in, it verifies that the phone number and all that set up, and now you're good to go. But cybersecurity experts have been warning us for years that we need to move away from this type of two-factor authentication. One of the main reasons is SMS text messages are not encrypted, meaning you are sending a temporary one-time use password on an unsecure, unencrypted channel. The lack of encryption with SMS is the reason why we have things like WhatsApp, Telegram, and Signal, applications that let us quote-unquote send text, but through an encrypted means. Twitter and other sites do not use Signal to send you that two-factor authentication one-time use password. The idea within cybersecurity is if it is unencrypted, it can be intercepted. So Musk is literally charging people for the least secure option of two-factor authentication on his platform, and trying to justify it as this is costing us large sums of money. In reality, if the worst option is costing you large sums of money, instead of charging for the worst option, you just eliminate the worst option. If Musk was the tech genius that he claims he is, then he would have just gotten rid of SMS two-factor authentication and forced people to either use a device or use a program. And he could have justified this move because there are already free authentication programs that you can download straight to your smartphone, Google or Android. And these applications are already created by companies and brands that your average end user trusts, such as Microsoft or Google. You can download Google Authenticator for free, link your Twitter account to it for free, and still have two-factor authentication that is more secure than SMS text messaging and doesn't now cost you $8 a month. And in reality, it'll take you about 5 minutes to do it. Now, granted, the program is not the most secure method of securing your Twitter account. That would be device or dongle that you connect into your computer or your phone every time you wanted to log into Twitter. But in reality, if you're just your average end user or even a content creator, the application will work perfect for you. If you run a major brand, yeah, you should invest in the dongle. But your everyday person just getting on Twitter for fun or even promoting their videos, the device will work just fine and it's still free. So this move by Musk to charge for a basic feature of Twitter is just pointless. Even if it does increase sales of Twitter Blue, it's not going to be enough to cover the costs that Musk claims that Twitter is incurring by offering this feature of SMS two-factor authentication. So he's making a business decision that's going to make the platform less secure while still losing money. When instead, he could have just removed the feature, saved the company money, promoted the free third-party options that are more secure, and spun it in such a way that would have promoted the trust and safety of the brand that is Twitter. And by increasing the trust and safety of the brand, he could have used this to work on bringing back advertisers and to make Twitter money instead of doing this desperate cash grab. But there'll still be somebody in my comments trying to claim that he's a genius.